Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Matt Rhule met with the media following the 17-9 victory over Northwestern this past weekend. The coach was asked about the injury status of several players, including 3 starting offensive linemen. This is what the coach had to say.
As we move forward, just a couple injury updates. We're a pretty beat-up team right now. Ethan Piper is done for the year. He'll have knee surgery. Turner Corcoran's done for the year. He'll have foot surgery. Nuri's in surgery right now. Nuri will be out for probably 1 to 2 weeks. So we'll have to have some guys step up. So with that, Billy Kemp will be out multiple weeks with an MCL sprain.
You'll hear more from that press conference coming up on the show. Following Husker volleyball's huge win over Wisconsin late Saturday night, the AVCA moved the Huskers to that coveted number 1 spot earlier today. Wisconsin now sits at number 2, Stanford is at number 3, Louisville is at number 4, and Texas is ranked 5th. Other Big Ten teams in the top 25 include Penn State, ranked 13th, and Purdue, ranked 16th. Big Ten volleyball released their weekly player awards today, where 2 Huskers were named to the list. Merritt Beeson earned her 3rd Big Ten Player of the Week award, and freshman Bergen Riley earned her 3rd Big Ten Setter of the Week award. The MLB playoffs continue tonight. The Diamondbacks are currently leading the Phillies 4-1 after 5 innings in Game 6 of the NLCS. The Phillies currently lead that series 3-2. And Game 7 of the ALCS between the Astros and Rangers starts tonight at 7. Finally, Monday Night Football kicks off tonight at 7:15 with the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers heading to Minnesota to take on the 2-4 Vikings. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for 2 hours of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Harburg under center, Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right, turn. Back to throw, a play action look. Harburg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Yeah, it's outside center, Nebraska. Baden Horse, kaboom! Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow, emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap, back to throw, pumps, gets rushed, gets hit, throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash, his 2nd sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation, we're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A 2nd deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here's Gustekin. A lefty back row specialist sends it over right at Harper. Okay pass. Harper gets it back right side. Cross court kill. Off the digging out. Jump set left again. Timmy Thomas IR block back. It's in. Point big run. Set number 1 Nebraska. Here it's 15-10 Badgers in the 3rd. Left side roll shot. Beautiful driving dig by Merritt. And then 2nd touch across and out of bounds. But it touched the block on the way out. Point Nebraska. Bergen Riley, a magician. Served by Ashburn, guided by Laney beautifully to her center right side. Harper Murray coming alive. A big kill late in the 4th and one there to start things early in the 5th. We're tied at 1 in Lincoln. Set 5. Here's the serve right at Harper. Guides it to Bergen. Jack back right side. Merritt. Block back covered by Harper Murray. Now Nebraska. Middle tip shot by Andy Jackson. Diving dig. Bump set left. Sarah Franklin for Wisconsin. Great up by Harper. She's playing great defense. Jack back right side. Merritt needs it. She counts it. Survival Saturday. Nebraska staying alive. It's 11-10. Badgers in the 5th. Served by Laney. Sails it to the back left. Pass Gustekin. Jack back to slide. Devin Robinson. Good control block. Huskers are going to get a swing. Bump set left. Harper for the lead. Off the block. They got it. Nebraska 13. Wisconsin 12. They're loving it in Lincoln. Body bumping in white. It's 13-12. Big Red. What a freshman. Quick review. We'll see. Hold on here. Is this a net violation? The fans are starting to do some cheering down there. Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation. We're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
What a great experience for all these athletes to get to play in this environment with this on the line, and great day for Husker athletics. Football got the win, and this match. So great day. It could have gone either way. Our team showed some amazing resilience tonight, and I mean, we were down and out, not playing very well. They found a way to come back, and great match. I mean, it's a great volleyball match.
It sure was. What a night at the Devaney Center, and that match lived up to all the hype. So many times, Jessica, you get a 1 versus a 2, and it's kind of a downer. That thing was above and beyond.
And you thought maybe, are we headed there in the second set? But, you know, Lauren said it to JB post-game. This is going to be one of those matches where in the future we're talking about, hey, remember this match, or going back to talk about some of the epic matches. This is no doubt one of those that's going to be joining that list of some of the epic battles that Nebraska volleyball has been in. But man, just so special. So many things that you could pick away from and talk about. But man, those freshmen are just gritty. And, you know, at times when maybe some teams would be down and out against Wisconsin, they get madder and more competitive about it, and they find a way to win. And Merritt Beeson was outstanding. Cool. And man, just on and on. And I loved after the match, you saw Nicklin Hames was crying, was emotional. It just, for as much as, you know, leading up to it, it was about one match and just this one opponent, and we got to take it 1 week at a time, and we can't make it bigger than what it is. When it was over, it certainly felt bigger than just one opponent.
We didn't mention it much last week because we're the hometown radio, but 10 in a row to that school. They've lost 10 straight, and those are 2 of the top 5 programs in the country. You knew that was in the back of their mind, and they got that proverbial monkey off the back by beating them, and you could just see a big exhale when that thing ended. Yeah,
and I was thinking the same thing. Towards the end, I'm like, are the students going to rush the court? Surely they're going to rush the court. And Coach Cook wanted them to rush the court. But, I mean, just incredible. I went over there, and it was so loud. And what a great atmosphere. So special. And, hey, how about for volleyball fans across the country? We're going to get to see those teams at least one more time match up again. But just an outstanding match. And, you know, I was listening to a few of the comments that the players said after, and they said, you know, we got that done and didn't even play our best. There were times that they just were not the Nebraska volleyball team we're used to seeing. They were kind of making the same mistakes over and over again. A little, maybe the moment was pretty big for some of those, but once they settled in and bounced back, I mean, Coach Cook said, I mean, there were multiple times that we could have given that thing away, but we kept finding ways to battle back. And you get down by a certain, when they were down 2 points there in that 4th set, I thought, this is done. Like, this Wisconsin's going to win this. And gosh, just cannot say enough about the way that they battled back. And I'm so happy for this program. What a weekend. Football wins and volleyball wins, and then soccer's got a Big Ten title to bring home. And that was a fun weekend for Husker athletics.
I'm sure Wisconsin on the plane ride home was thinking about those points at the end of the 4th set, because that was their chance. They had a match point even to walk out of there with a win. Rematch, Black Friday. So it's still about a month away before those two will meet up again and maybe on a collision course somewhere down the road in the national tournament at the end of the year. John in Omaha said to end the losing streak to Wisconsin was incredible. What made it even sweeter was that they didn't catch them on a down year. They knocked them off at the current mountaintop Go Big Red. That's exactly right. That's a really, really impressive Wisconsin team. And I didn't get a chance to go. I think you popped your head in the building. They are physically imposing to look at. They are so big on the front line.
Yeah, and my dad and I were talking, too. My dad had really good seats, too. And he said, you know, some of the other players on their roster, on their court, don't look as big when you're watching them on TV. because of how big the other players
Other ones are.
right? But then you get right next to them, and I'm like, oh my, this entire team is, yeah, they are really, really big. They're really big. And that's what I thought was pretty interesting about how the Huskers adjusted was the block was just, they were killing us, you know, and because they are so big and they just couldn't, some of the things that usually typically work for the Nebraska hitters were not working. And so once they got away from, you know, continuing to try to do that and play outside of that, that's when things started to happen. But yeah, it was just like, gosh, how are you going to get any ball over them? I don't know how anybody does. And then I go back to some of the conversations that I've had on the dig about how, you know, sometimes when you have teams like that, it's just about trading points, right? I mean, you stop them a few times when you can, but sometimes you're going to give up points, and you can't let those 1 points turn into multiple points, and it's just kind of how it is. And Wisconsin is certainly one of those teams. So I thought, you know, when they got a couple of big points, Nebraska did not let them phase that in, especially in the 3 sets as they won.
What a tremendous match. I have not seen TV numbers yet. They've got to be approaching 500,000, I would think. Hopefully that comes out. That should be coming out today, but I've not seen it. I was checking a couple websites earlier today to see if the overnights were back in and printed somewhere, but I'll keep an eye on that. Again, the rematch, Black Friday. It's right toward the end of the football game with the Huskers and the Iowa Hawkeyes that day. Obviously, it'll be in Madison for the rematch. So that was just tremendous volleyball, great environment. I've talked to some people that said it was as good of an environment as they've been to for a sporting event around here. Jim in Columbus on our text line. What a sight to behold Saturday night, watching the volleyball game, listening to John and Lauren on the radio. I could just feel it come through the TV when they won that 5th set. Congratulations. It was just I had fireworks going off in my neighborhood for like the next 20 minutes. People were shooting fireworks
That's amazing.
off like it was a national championship match. It's not. It could be a prelude of it, but it wasn't. I mean, obviously a huge match.
I love it. Yeah, and, you know, I think JB had mentioned on the broadcast too, and which it was. I mean, there was so much energy went into the first set. It was almost like the team and the crowd were a little bit let down in the second set, but then after that, they got going again. And I thought too, and I was talking to a couple of the security guys that were standing down there by the tunnel, and how big it was, even because Wisconsin was kind of running away with that second set, and then Nebraska was able to put some things together to close the gap a little bit. I think they built some confidence there, and then also in that third set. But yeah, it just incredible, and this team is fun, and each week you're like, gosh, could they get more fun? And then they just get more fun, and it's so exciting, and there's just so much momentum. You can feel it with volleyball, with so many other things around here. It was just such a fun weekend.
You know, that match was longer than the football game.
Wow.
The football game was 2 hours and 59 minutes. I think the volleyball match was 3:05. That's a long time. Think about how many times you're jumping, diving, leaning. Coach Cook afterwards said his MVP was Lanny. He thought Lanny kept so many balls alive that was the key to the win.
Yeah, there are some of those ones I'm like, how in the world do they get that ball up? And
Wisconsin had to be thinking the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was, and then because of the way that the match was going, a little chess match with the timeouts. There were some reviews that took a little bit longer. So yeah, going to 5 sets, and then with them being tight and trying to stop runs and timeouts and reviews and all that, you can see how that time would add up. And then, you know, the Huskers ran the football, so during the clock a couple times that clock ticked off pretty quickly.
And there was only one review. Sometimes those replay reviews take a lot, but there was one review in the game Saturday. In the game Saturday, I know it wasn't pretty, but I think that's how this team, and after the devastating news we got today about the offensive line, I think that's how this team's going to have to win this year. I don't think that's the way Matt Rhule wants it to be forever, but for what is still left with this team on the field, that's how they're going to have to play.
Yeah, and you feel good about what the defense has done. They've done enough now. I mean, it was one thing, we'll see how they're doing against Big Ten opponents, but now they've proven. I mean, that's – and Searle said it on the podcast. We'll hear from him later on. But they are becoming an elite defense, and they're doing it week in and week out. They're being, even when the times when they're put in bad situations, they're holding to field goals, whatever they need to do to get the job done. And he made a point about they're almost like they're wearing it as a badge of honor. And I mentioned that to you guys a couple of times in the broadcast about, when the offense was not doing much and it was getting frustrated and the fans were, I know we're getting frustrated, but I was listening in on the defensive huddles, and if you did not know what was going on, you wouldn't know what was going on. You would have no idea that the offense was having the issues that they were having because they were just so locked in. And that's how you got to be. And I think now that they take pride in that. Hey, all right, we'll put it on us to win this football game. So the offense, just don't turn it over and do just don't give it away at this point, and the defense is going to give you a lot of chances to win football games.
And that's what was concerning at the start, because we did turn it over twice.
Yeah.
Heinrich got picked twice. One was a deflection. One he just made a bad throw on. But again, the defense went out and put the brakes on. They got 3 points out of those 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
If they get up 10-0, we might be having a different conversation here today.
Yeah, but they ran out there. They bowed up. They stopped them and held them to 3 and then gave some time to the offense. But, certainly wasn't pretty and things that need to get cleaned up. But as long as you're scoring more points than 9,
right.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of chances to win some football games.
Jessica, the last 2 games, Illinois, Northwestern, that defense has given up 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
2 Big Ten games. How about that?
And they're still top 5 in the nation in rushing defense. Another game of under 100 yards. It's that defensive line. We really talked a lot about that on the podcast today too, but man, it seems like every week somebody new emerges. And when you go back to what the conversations we were having about, there are some good pieces in the defensive line, but there are some freshmen. And do they have enough? Do they have enough bodies? And here we are. Every week he runs somebody else out there that's making big plays. And so,
where did the Williams guy come from?
Right?
What in the world?
So, and it was crazy because he was pretty active on the sideline, and then all of a sudden he runs out there and gets a sack. And it's just I think, credit to Terrence Knighton that he continues to develop in season. It's one thing to develop guys out of season, but the fact that we're continuing to see new guys get better and better throughout the year, I mean, when the defensive line, it all starts up front, right? When the defensive line is playing as solid as they are, it just allows for a lot of good things to happen on defense.
All right, let's 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Let's go to North Platte. Jim, you're going to lead us off tonight. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to both of you. Thank you for taking my call. And I would have to say during our football game, they kept bragging about the game of the century in basically volleyball. Awesome game. You going back to what you and Jessica was talking about in the football game after those first 2 turnovers, we could have been down like 20 or 30 points. Our boys did not buckle. They did not fold. Same way with the girls. They did not buckle in that 3rd and 4th game. Awesome football game. Awesome volleyball game. 2 more football games, and we go to a bowl game. Go Big Red. Thank you.
You bet, Jim. And, I think Coach Rhule, in fact, we taped the television show. It's going to air in a few minutes here. He thought the 2 biggest plays were Isaac Gifford blowing up 3. He loved Isaac Gifford blowing up that screen early in the second half. He liked the fact that Omar Brown ran down that running back in the first half after he bolted ahead of everybody, and then Malcolm Hartzog catching that wide receiver at about the 7-yard line. Those 3 plays, he said, I'm not sure we make those as a team a month ago. Yeah,
I was just about to say that. The extra effort plays when you could just give up, right, on some of those big plays. And in the past, I would even say a year ago, how many times do those plays get made? It's just the not giving up on things when it doesn't always go your way. It's just the mentality and the mindset that this defensive staff is instilling in these guys. And hey, you know what? You track them down and then just allow a field goal. That's a lot better than 7. So, you cannot say enough about the way that they don't give up on things when, you make a big play, the offense makes a big play, whatever you got to do to try to limit that from being worse than what it is. And you're seeing guys do that.
All right, we got some calls coming in, some texts coming in. We'll answer those coming up in the next segment. Both of those are on our Woodhouse Auto family. They are your trusted partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More of the show coming up next.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT. Official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
We're back inside our Acres Broadcast Center. Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday, a victorious Monday. Big weekend for Husker sports. Football wins, volleyball knocks off #1 in Wisconsin, and the Husker soccer team on the pitch defeated Illinois. That, coupled with Wisconsin's win at Penn State, gave Nebraska a co-title with Michigan State. They will be the 2 seed. The Big Ten tournament starting Sunday. They'll host Ohio State. They have not yet named a start time, probably either noon or 1 o'clock for that.
That's going to be a busy day around here.
Sure is. Got both men's and women's basketball have exhibition games. Busy weekend.
Yes.
Here. Tom at Omaha, what were the injuries Coach Rhule announced today? I missed the opening thanks. Wasn't good. Ethan Piper, knee out for the year. Turner Corcoran, foot injury, out for the year. Saw Turner on crutches after the game was over. Something's up with Nuri. Coach wouldn't divulge it, but he's having surgery this week. Not out for the year, but out for a week or two. So, my goodness, a side of the football, Jessica, that's just been hammered gets destroyed again with all these injuries.
Yeah, and another wide receiver, too, with Billy Kemp, which they do expect him to come back. But Nuri did have a brace on his arm. I noticed that in warm-ups, and so I'm not sure if that had anything. I have no idea what his injury was. I don't think he ever came off the field. But I did see Turner leave, and I told you guys this at the end of the game. He went to the locker room early. It was right at the end that he left, and of course Ethan was early, and he was carted off. Knew that one was pretty bad, but yeah, it's a challenge for sure. But I did what Coach Rhule said in his post-game presser immediately after the game, just really praising the offensive line because they were shuffling. How many guys were just, Teddy comes in, you got Justin Evans-Jenkins move from guard to center and then back out to guard and Henry. And so you just had a lot of shuffling going on. And that's what, Searles talked about too, is that even when those were happening, you could very easily really destruct, but he said they were still pretty assignment sound. They didn't have any really huge mistakes when they were doing that. So that bodes well for a team. But yeah, you got some young guys now that are going to have some opportunities, and as much as it really stinks to say, it's next man up, and some of those young guys, here's your opportunity.
Yeah. So the depth chart was released earlier today, and according to it, Teddy Prohaska will be your left tackle. Justin Evans-Jenkins will be your left guard. Ben Scott will be the center. Henry Lutovsky will be the right guard. And Bryce Benhart holds down that right tackle. You like that group because all of those people have played. Gets a little dicey if one of them were to go down this week because then you're going to be playing some people that have not been on the field.
Yes, and some true freshmen. But, as Coach Rhule talked about today, some of those freshmen were here in the spring, so that makes you feel a little bit better that they did go through a spring ball. But, yeah, it's now you have the depth there from that first line, but then it's when you get to the second that's when the depth gets a little shaky there with just not having much experience. But Justin Evans-Jenkins played well, and I know Damon made a comment too that you could argue that he should have been on the field and earned maybe some more playing time too. So here's his opportunity. I can tell on the sideline like he is just chomping at the bit for an opportunity. I think he's going to be huge. I think he's going to step up and play really big. I think he's going to embrace this opportunity. He's so locked in, and just seeing how he is on the sideline, I love his demeanor and how he stays, even though he's not playing, he's just always ready and whatever he needs to do. And I like how he's involved with the guys that are starting. So I think he will really embrace this opportunity. And yeah, now some of those other guys, it's your time too.
Another text that came in, why does it seem like we have more injuries than other teams every year? I wish the players a speedy and healthy recovery. It's got me concerned a little bit too, and I know Coach Rhule and this staff will do a deep dive in the offseason and go, are we missing something here? And I think, you even raised it, a lot of knee injuries with this team right now. Yeah, and I actually said that before he brought it up. That is one thing that you feel really confident in moving forward with the strength staff, but with Coach Rhule too, is that, hey, they're really innovative, and if there's some reoccurring issues that they need to go look at, they will, and they'll whatever they have to do to address it and fix it. Some of it, and again, something that Searles brought up, the contact injuries is just part of football, and just unfortunate that there's been multiple of those, but the non-contact, and that's where, you'd think that they will absolutely, once the season is done, go back and see if there's something that they can do to address that. But it's just, it really is. And even Coach Rhule said, I've never seen anything like this. The Piper injury was a true football injury. Just got kind of rolled up on, and that blew the knee out. I need to go back and look on the play. I don't know what play Turner got hurt. I got to go back and study the tape. Turner's was in the tent a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if it's been an ongoing thing that he's been dealing with, but he also walked off, and so it didn't seem like he was limping. But I don't know if it was something that maybe has been lingering that just really finally gave out, or if something specific happened. But it was kind of happened a little bit under the radar, how he went off. And because you guys were in the middle, I think we had already gone to our last TV timeout, and I had already done a couple of injuries. I was staying busy over there by that medical tent, unfortunately. But I had just told you in your ear, hey, Turner's leaving. Yeah, Teddy's coming in. And so, but I didn't see anything specific that happened where he was down on the ground. I think it just happened maybe after a series, he walked off. Darn. He never even went to the tent. They just took him straight back to the locker room. Saw him on crutches after the game. Steve in Columbus, are other teams going to start coming after Tony White? Steve, how dare you bring that up? No, he is grabbing people's eyes, and Nebraska will be in line for a raise. I mean, he has built his value with this program. I'm sure some other programs are going to be. I think that'll be a priority in the offseason to keep Tony White here. He loves it here. He loves working with Coach Rhule, and I wouldn't even say just a defensive coordinator spot. I think he will be targeted for some head coaching jobs. I do too, and that would be hard to keep him from taking. Yes. If it was just a defensive coordinator job, I could see Nebraska being able to retain him, but if it's you start talking head coaching jobs, and I think he will be a fantastic head coach one day. I mean, and we've talked a lot about this, just the way he handles himself when he comes in here to do interviews, and that's a big part of it, right? How you handle yourself with the media, and he's so great at that part of it. He's a great recruiter, all the things that go into, and then also, I will also go extend it even to this. So Coach Rhule has talked about being a CEO and managing all these moving parts. Honestly, you could say that about Tony White and what he's done with the defense. No doubt. How he's been a CEO of the defense, and he's not overly involved. He doesn't come micromanage. He'll come say a few things, but I think the way he's managed and been the CEO of this defensive staff that, oh, by the way, had never worked with him before, also is a good testament to how he will be a overall CEO of a program too. So there's so many positives with him. I do think at some point he will absolutely get an opportunity at a head coaching job. I do too. Tim in Minnesota, I've been wondering lately if Coach Knighton still gets called pot roast, regardless the black shirts, especially his defensive linemen, are becoming quite an elite and or gourmet dish. Yes, he is still called pot roast.
Yeah, and I love that group. Gosh, they have so much fun. And he's over there doing like sack dances with them, and they are celebrating, and they're playing loose and confident. And I interviewed both Nash and Jamari Butler after the game, and just to hear how much pride they take. I mean, some guys, hey, I want to be the one that gets all the sacks, right? But how much pride they take when it's not them getting the sack, and it is a guy like Williams that comes in there and gets one, or some of those young freshmen. It's really cool to see how much they have embraced. It's not an individual group. It is
a group.
Yeah. And it takes all of them to be as good as they've been. And they've really embraced that and bought into that. And Terrence Knighton has done a fantastic job. Maybe he could be a defensive coordinator one day. Possibly.
Still pretty young in his coaching tenure.
Yeah.
After playing in the National Football League. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program. Want to invite you to go visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 3rd. Get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa game on November 24th. We'll throw in some pregame tailgate passes. Go see True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City. Osceola Implement and Kearney Equipment to enter, and you may be a winner this season. We're back with some clips from Coach's press conference from earlier today. We'll have that next.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmacher here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you on a Monday night. Carter from up in Fremont, longtime listener. I think Jessica's done a great job of embracing Husker athletics over her tenure here. Kudos to her.
Thanks, Carter. Appreciate that.
Carter's a great guy, longtime friend of the program. Got to be a little careful around Carter, though. He get out there a little crazy.
That's awesome. I appreciate that, Carter.
Good man. He's a good man. All right, time now for tonight's practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
Coach Rhule met with the media today, and obviously the injury situation along the offensive line was the huge topic. We'll start out with, he got asked about what's the mental state of those guys after watching a bunch of their comrades go down over the weekend.
Yeah, because they play for each other, you know. So, I texted Turner and I texted Pipe on Saturday night, you know, and both guys with devastating season-ending, potentially surgical for Turner, surgical for Piper injuries. Both guys were talking about the impact they were going to have on the young players and how they wanted to get back out there. I mean, a lot of guys get injured and they go to treatment. You don't really see them in meetings quite as much, and I try to make them go to meetings, you know. But sometimes it's, hey, I can get to the rehab guy here, you know. So there's some things we do medically. You know, I walked by the O-line room yesterday and I see the crutches outside the meeting room from Turner, and I mean, I can't say enough about that. So Turner's going to be right there with the guys, and Pipe's going to be right there with the guys, and you're going to, all along I've said, when they've been under scrutiny, I've always said I think we should be pretty thankful for these guys that are out there battling. You know, we'll be thankful for them now, you know, and I'm thankful for the backups that are now starters, that the way they've prepared, because, it has not been perfect. They've won 4 out of their last 5. I mean, go back to last year's Illinois game. What was it, we have 170, 165 yards rushing in this game? Like, it's not perfect. But, you know, these guys fight. They fight for the University of Nebraska, and so I can't say enough about when Justin went in, what he did. I thought Justin played well. And, Canucks ready, Lutovsky's ready. We got a lot of guards that can go in and play.
You know, and to add to that, too, so Ramir Johnson is back, and he was out there helping E.J. Barthel do running back drills in the pregame. And Isaiah Garcia Castaneda is sitting over there with the wide receivers helping coach up Malachi and those freshmen. These older guys, and Coach Rhule has said this, how at other places that he's been, they haven't bought in as much. But now these older guys that have been hurt and very well could say, I'm good. But to see the way that they are trying to help these younger guys, Marcus Washington, another one. He wasn't on the sideline last week, I'm sure, because of he's had surgery, I would imagine. But it's just, it speaks volumes to the kind of buy-in that is happening with this program right now.
Coach was asked, okay, with all these injuries you've had, wide receivers, running backs, now the offensive line, how does that change the offense for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we're going to have to find the players we have and find what they do well and put them out there. Each week, this is a man-to-man defense. This is a Bear defense that's highly active. Pressure's a lot different than Illinois. Same sort of structure, but different than Illinois. So, it brings unique challenges. But to me, it's about, hey, who are the players that we have and what can they do? And I think that's on both sides of the ball and on special teams. We're always trying to highlight our players and at the same time understanding that each defense brings things that we have to be prepared for. And they have a lot that we have to be prepared for. So getting into specifics of it, I can't say right now. It's Monday, but as we get closer during the week, I think we'll have a good plan.
He was then asked a pretty good question about, do you now think maybe about pulling some more red shirts with all the guys and the bodies that you're losing off the offensive line?
Yeah, the players' careers always come first. That's maybe different here than other places, but that's why I think most guys will appreciate that in the long run. And we have, like I said, I hope you guys see what I say I really mean. I told you we have some good guys that are redshirting, like James Williams. I wasn't lying, right? We've got some good players just sitting there waiting their turns. Quentin Eyes got in last game. I was hoping for a bigger role. Only got a player or two. But Quentin's ready to go. But, my plan is, if we can, to redshirt a lot of guys. This might affect Jaden Doss, depending on how fast Billy comes back, because Jaden's now played in 2 games. But I think Jaden's going to play. So if you're going to go out there and play 50, 60 snaps, then to me it's worth playing in 5 or 6 games, 7 games. But I'm not going to use a guy up for 10 plays and use a whole year up on him. I'm going to do my best. So each guy's unique, each guy's different. On the offensive line, we have some really good young O-linemen that we've been redshirting, and Sam Sledge and Gunnar Catula. Gunnar was there with us in the spring. Gunnar can play. And so those guys are coming up on, hey, they've got 4 games, so they'll be ready in the jumbo tight end and the field goal team. Jacob Hood is back and been playing. Tyler Canuck we brought in. So those guys, those guys have really come along. And again, when we got here and Coach Osborne and Coach Solich and those guys talked about, the 2 platoon practices and all that, which we've done some of in the past, and just doing a little bit more of it. I think it's going to pay off right now for us.
Love that. So happy that that's how it is about the players, because it is. It's about their careers, and you don't want to just burn it for somebody to come out there and play a couple snaps. You want to be strategic about it, because it's also about the development of some of these young freshmen offensive linemen. We talk about developing, and some of that goes into a redshirt year. And if you're going to pull that, you want to make sure that that it's worth it, and you're not costing that development by burning that redshirt this year.
Here's the thing: we've got 5 games left. You get through 1 more, then you can play them and not worry about burning a red shirt.
Yep, there's a lot of those guys we probably will see a lot.
We're close, and he does think Nuri will be back.
Yeah.
So this is not a season ender for Nuri, so we just got to get through a couple weeks. So maybe you play a young guy this week, knowing that you're not going to have to play him in 2 or 3 games because Nuri gets back. All right, open up the phone lines again for you, 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back to wrap up the hour next.
Hey, Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's 1-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Experience power like never before and move through the world in a legendary SUV from Woodhouse Cadillac, setting the bar when it comes to high-tech standards and safety features, plus innovations that enhance your driving experience. Receive $1,500 Cadillac financial cash and 2.9% APR for 36 months on the 2024 Cadillac XT5. Find your next luxury vehicle in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseCadillac.com. With approved credit, $299 dock fee due at signing. Offer expires 10/31/2023. See dealer for details.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. A lot of smiles around the old athletic department today after this big weekend. Kevin in Omaha said, I'm a 70-year-old man, and I've seen many things in my life, but when Coach Cook waded into the student section that he loved so much and somebody slapped a red cowboy hat on him, sorry, this old man was in tears.
Oh, that was awesome. I love that. He's like, give me one of those hats. He said he wanted them to storm the court, but anytime I've done his show, he always brings up the student section, whether it's on the air or off the air, and constantly thinking what he can do for them, how we can continue to make it be one of the most daunting student sections in the country, and he cares a lot about them, so it was neat to see him run over there to celebrate with them, and they love him. I mean, so many people around here just really appreciate him, and he takes the time to go out there, and they were camping out during the football game. It just speaks volumes to the job that Coach Cook and his staff has done to embrace them.
And by the way, they did announce today they're moving Saturday night's match back a half hour. They play Rutgers Saturday night at the Devaney Center. It was slated to be at 7. They're going to move it to 7:30 to allow a little bit more break for traffic between the end of the football game and the beginning of the volleyball game. I went outside about 6:45, and there wasn't a lot of traffic. I think they did a pretty good job of moving people around on Saturday night to get them over there. It looked like from the start of the match that place was packed. We're packed with more action coming up next hour. We're going to hear from the polar bear and his opposite.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports sticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Matt Rhule met with the media following the 17-9 victory over Northwestern this past weekend. The coach was asked about the injury status of several players, including 3 starting offensive linemen. This is what the coach had to say.
As we move forward, just a couple injury updates. We're a pretty beat-up team right now. Ethan Piper is done for the year. He'll have knee surgery. Turner Corcoran is done for the year. He'll have foot surgery. Nuri's in surgery right now. Nuri will be out for probably 1 to 2 weeks. So we'll have to have some guys step up. So with that, Billy Kemp will be out multiple weeks with an MCL sprain.
Following Husker volleyball's huge win over Wisconsin late Saturday night, the AVCA moved the Huskers to that coveted #1 spot earlier today. Wisconsin now sits at #2, Stanford is at #3, Louisville is at #4, and Texas is at #5. Other Big Ten teams in the top 25 include Penn State, ranked 13th, and Purdue, ranked 16th. Big Ten volleyball released their weekly player awards today, where 2 Huskers were named to the list. Merritt Beeson earned her 3rd Big Ten Player of the Week award, and freshman Bergen Riley earned her 3rd Big Ten Setter of the Week award. The MLB playoffs continue tonight. The Diamondbacks are currently leading the Phillies 5-1 in the top of the 9th of Game 6 of the NLCS. The Phillies currently lead that series 3-2, and Game 7 of the ALCS between the Astros and Rangers should be starting soon. And finally, Monday Night Football is kicking off right about now with the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers going to Minnesota to take on the 2-4 Vikings. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Harburg under center, Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right, turn. Back to throw, a play action look. Hyberg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Cats outside center, Nebraska. Baden Horse, kaboom! Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow, emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap, back to throw, pumps, gets rushed, gets hit, throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash, his 2nd sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation, we're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Jessica coming off of a birthday card. A happy belated birthday, Jess. Lots of Husker success to help you celebrate. Hope you had a great birthday weekend.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
You played golf?
Yes, I did on Friday. Went out to Highlands. That was a great recommendation by you. It was a lot of fun. No wind. It was absolutely perfect.
Great day.
And then, yeah, the Huskers gave me lots and lots of things to celebrate all weekend.
Well, on Friday's show, I talked quite a bit about the Michigan deal, and there's more coming out today. You were just reading some stuff during the break. This is the Michigan staffer, Connor Stallions, who we told you on Friday had been suspended with pay, is the guy that has been fingered in this investigation that Michigan was going off-site to try to steal signs from their opponents. Everybody does it on game day. That's why the cards are going up in the air. Everybody does that, and that's fine. That's kind of a... But you can't go somewhere and physically scout another team. And now there's more information today about that.
Yes, I guess there's evidence that he purchased tickets in his own name to more than 30 games over the past 3 years at 11 different Big Ten schools. He's using illegal, I guess, there's video evidence of electronics prohibited by the NCAA to steal signs. And then sources also confirmed to ESPN that Stallions purchased tickets on both sides of the stadium across from each bench for Ohio State and Penn State on Saturday. So even up until this weekend, he was going to continue on with the whole fiasco. So unbelievable.
Coach Rhule got asked about it today. He goes, I have no comment. He goes, I'm new to the league. I don't have a comment about this whole thing. But he said, yeah, we all try when we're the opponent that day, looking across the sideline, looking down from the press box. We're trying to see stuff.
Yeah.
But he goes, taking it a further step, yeah, that's a no-no.
Well, it's been going on for 3 years. So obviously there's been some sort of suspicion that's been going on. But there's evidence, there's hard evidence that he's buying the tickets in his name. But it's not like he makes that much money, right? So how is he affording to buy all these tickets every week?
That's got to be the old expense account, right? Turn those things in.
So I'm sure Michigan will say, oh, well, we didn't know what was going on. There's video surveillance at one of the schools that also shows one of the people that were sitting in his seats videoing the sideline of whatever team it was the entire game. So there's all the video the entire game.
What are the chances he was here for Louisiana Tech?
Probably.
All right, folks.
If there's gotta be
a Husker fan that may have seen this guy.
11 different schools.
Got to think we're one of them.
Yeah.
We played him last year. We played him this year. So you got to think he's either last year he did it or he did it earlier this season here.
If they are doing it for basically every single team that they are playing, I mean, just unbelievable. And just the he didn't think that he'd get caught putting them all under his name.
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you use an alias?
Or somebody else.
But your name's got to match up probably with a credit card to get the process ticket and all that type of thing.
Well, there's this thing called Venmo that you could just forward somebody else to buy the tickets for
Cole,
you.
buy me a ticket, would you, for the game next week, and I'll Venmo you?
I'm on it.
Diamondbacks just beat the Phillies 5-1, so that series is going to go to a Game 7. Mark in Omaha, where was Nick Henrich? Did he even play? Is he injured? He played 1 or 2 snaps, but Coach said today, yeah, he's banged up, and just we thought we had enough bodies to get, and then the game plan let us put Buddha in there for more, but he'll play more this year. But, yeah, he's nicked up.
Now Buddha's banged up. He was in the tent, and I think he had an ankle as well. So Tommy Hill, Buddha, both on the defensive side, I think they'll be all right. I mean, he said today Tommy Hill was day-to-day, but I know both those guys are getting worked on and didn't come back in. But, yeah, I think with Nick, let's give it another week and get him back fully healthy because he's been a huge part. And when Luke was out, he stepped in, and now Luke's back. And so let Nick get healthy.
And I thought Luke played pretty well.
Yeah.
Made a lot of plays. Another guy that made a lot of plays, Nash Hutmacher. And he was one of your guests on the Locker Room Show.
Yeah, he's great. He's just a fun interview. But I thought when you asked me which one to run, I thought he gives just such a great perspective and a great breakdown of how overall what it's like being in the defensive line room and why they've been able to be so successful. Well, what a day for the defensive line. You guys seem like you were having a lot of fun. How proud are you of your entire group?
Oh, I'm so proud of all the guys. You know, everyone was making an impact in that game. Especially James Williams being a scout team guy, getting his chance, and going out there and just showing what he can do. We talk about that a lot in the program. Is every guy's going to get their shot, and when you do, make the most of it. And I was super proud of him the way he handled himself today, and he just went out there and played. And the entire group, it was so much fun to play with those guys today.
I think I counted 6 guys from the defensive line group that either had a sack or a tackle for loss. What is it about you guys that so many people can get in the action?
Yeah, it's just Coach T and I likes to rotate us, and like I said before, I mean we always have that next man up mindset. It doesn't matter who's in there; we all have the same attitude. We're all going in there to make plays, and today it really shined. We were all having fun. It didn't matter who was out there for us; everyone was making plays, and it was unbelievable. It was like one of the funner games I played in on defense.
Now, when James Williams came off, you were calling him sack man. How much do you guys feed off of each other when you all are out there making big plays?
Oh yeah, I mean it's infectious not only for us but the entire defense. If Malcolm has a big breakup, the D-line gets hyped for him, and vice versa. If we get a big sack, those guys are all patting us on the head too. It's just I love how we play, and when someone makes a big play, it's very infectious to the whole defense.
What have you seen out of Jamari Butler and the way he's been able to come along and step up big for you guys over these last few weeks?
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Jamari just he's really stepped into a leadership role. He's a vocal leader. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to he demands the most out of you. He's been awesome, and he shows it on the field too. He's out there making sure everyone's has the right mindset, and just he's balling. I mean, where he's been playing some really good football, so it's just really fun to be around him and play with him.
It seemed like no matter what was going on with the offense, struggles, whatever, whenever there's a turnover, you guys get right back up and stay locked in. What's that approach like, or how important is that approach that you guys are just doing what your job is and not letting anything else affect that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter where we're at on the field, what's happening. When we go out there, we're going to win the rep. That's our mindset. Doesn't matter what the situation, all the distraction, outside stuff. For all we care, it's team compete out on the field on a Tuesday. We go out there and we're going to win the rep, and that's our mindset going out there.
How important was it for you guys to build off of what you did on the road at Illinois, coming off the bye week, to get another win here in this Big Ten Conference?
Yeah, no, it's huge. We're rolling now. We guys, I mean, everyone knows we can do it now. We just got to keep doing it at a high level, keep doing the process the way we've been doing it, and just see how far we can take this thing. It's been really fun.
How much easier does that make that when you start winning? All the things that they're preaching to you, it shows that, hey, it's working and we're getting wins for it.
Yeah, no, it's really, I mean, it builds your confidence, it builds everything else, but at the end of the day, we're gonna come in and we're gonna go 1-0 next week. That's our mindset. Is next week we're 1-0, not looking ahead, and we're on to the next, and we're gonna go 1-0 next week.
Appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you.
A lot of fun getting to chat with him, but yeah, just what I was talking about earlier about how when you're seeing the huddle, the defensive line huddle, and how hyped up they get when anybody makes a play, when they're making big stops and having those big stands, and how they feed off of each other. And if one guy makes a play, that they're so happy for each other. And so I thought he provided great perspective there of just what it's like there inside that defensive line room.
He's made a lot of progress. And again, Coach said earlier today, he thinks a lot. I mean, that Ty Robinson played maybe his best game of the season as well. Those two guys are big, strong dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, they both are.
And that's what Searles, I don't know if this is part of the cut that Cole,
the big dog,
the big dog and the polar bear. What a hour! The big dog and the polar bear in the same hour. But he said that, he said, going into the season, you knew you had two dogs in the polar bear, Nash and Ty Robinson. But he said, what was going to happen after that? And he said, when they're running guys in on the defensive line that are backing them up, there's no drop off. And you thought that, okay, yeah, here's these guys, they're up here, but when they run in the guys behind them, there's going to be a drop off, but there hasn't been. And again, that's credit to that group and Terrence Knighton and the job he's done developing those guys.
There's only one dog. His name is Jeremiah Searles. There's only one Doc. It's Doc of Rock. Let's go to him up in Omaha. Hello, Doc.
Thanks, Greg. Jessica, how are we doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling, Doc.
You bet. Go Big Greg. So, hey, two things real quick. Question first. Nebraska now has a winning record since, 2016? Is that correct?
I think 2019 at this stage they were 4-3, I believe.
Okay. So, yeah, kudos to getting another win.
You're right, but we haven't had an overall winning record since 16. Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to finish the season that way, that's for sure. Guys in the Big Ten Network, we watched them earlier today, and they're predicting Nebraska going to a bowl game this year. Of course, you got to make it happen, but it's good to see the recognition, especially from the network. But great win, and obviously players being developed, and it's just obvious when you have like Jessica said a minute ago, that's coming in and no drop off. So it's almost hard to keep track of all the names, and you're doing play by play every game, and sure you're looking at your sheet quite a bit, see who's coming in next. But I did want to reference Nebraska's big win against Wisconsin. And I just got done watching Coach Sheffield's post-game press conference. And I found it very intriguing to get an objective point of view from an opponent's head coach who commented our atmosphere, students camped out before the game. Of course, Wisconsin, they got to compete with Green Bay and whoever else. But Coach was very complimentary of our fan base, the environment, how the fans in Devaney are like right on top of you. And man, just a hard fought match. So proud of our volleyball team. It's really incredible that they, really dug down and believed when they could have kind of cashed it in for the match, and they didn't. Kind of reminds me of, Coach Rhule talking about a couple of our DBs who got beat and could have gave up on the play, but it's down. And so that's hard, right? That's want to of athletes. And anyway, that's all I got. Just really proud of our program right now, both programs. We'll see the basketball team get warmed up, and then there's always baseball, and love Nebraska sports. Thanks, guys.
All right, Doc. Appreciate it. I don't think there's animosity really between Nebraska and Wisconsin volleyball. I think they really respect each other.
Yeah, I think it's a respect there for sure. And, it's just when you're, especially for college volleyball, I know in the Big Ten there are some really good environments, but you don't always get to play in that kind of atmosphere that what is provided at Devaney night in and night out. And so I think no matter what, I mean, even though you're coming in and it's a kind of a daunting task to play in front of that crowd, you're also really appreciated because you don't always get that opportunity to get to experience that. And so, yeah, I think for most teams that come in, they appreciate it. And the fans are really nice, and they support when there's a good rally. They cheer when you announce the starting lineups. They don't boo. And so I think teams come in and they just genuinely appreciate getting to play in front of an atmosphere like that when you don't always get that opportunity night in and night out. It's very rare to get to play in an atmosphere like that.
It was special, and anybody who was there will remember that for a long time because it was just a terrific, two great programs, two tremendous teams, and into a fifth set. Little anticlimactic with it ending on the call of brushing the net, but it was the right call. Wish would have just ended with like a Harper Murray's nice slam, right?
I know. It was. And when we were listening to the play-by-play calls earlier from JB, it was like, gosh, he would have loved if he could have had just this epic call to end the match. But hey, at least Nebraska got the point, and it was a win.
Right.
We don't care how the point comes. It was a winning point.
I could even see Coach Cook kind of like, I don't think he really wanted it to end that way either, but he's like, I got to do it. I got to bring the card out.
Yeah.
So
got to take it.
All right, we're going to take a break. The big dog's coming up on the other side.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Big 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Big 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Big 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Elevate your driving experience at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Receive up to $2,250 off MSRP on the 2023 Buick Envision Preferred, or shop the 2023 Buick Enclave Avenir and save up to $3,000 off MSRP. Shop our current inventory online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must have 2009 or newer trade-in to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires October 31st, 2023. See dealer for details.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Earlier today, Jeremiah Searles, the big, a.k.a. the big dog, sat down for his weekly podcast, Sideline Slice with Searles. Here's a snippet of that.
I did want to ask you about this because I'm sure you've been on the opposite side of this where, you know, when you're sitting over there and thinking, oh, we've got to score every time. I certainly covered teams at OU that it was the defense wasn't getting any stops and the offense just had to have this mentality of we're just going to have to score every time we have the football. But, you know, being on the sideline and seeing the demeanor and the confidence of the defense, I mean, and I did a report on this, if you didn't know what was going on in the game, even when the offense was having struggles, you wouldn't have known if you just were watching the defensive huddles. So can you take me through that mindset, what it's like when, hey, you literally cannot worry about what's going on, but it seems like they're just totally buying into that. It's about our jobs and what we're doing, and we can't worry about anything else other than going out there and doing what we do.
Yeah, I kind of equivalate this team a little bit to my time in the NFL with the Vikings in 2016 and 2017. We had like the number 1 and the number 2 defense in the entire league at that time with the Vikings. And our offense was middle of the pack, if not bottom third. We weren't very good. And, being on the offensive side, it's really frustrating when you feel like you can't play complementary football to a defense that is great, right? Not just good, but great. And Nebraska's getting to that point where, they're ranked nationally. They're shutting teams down. They're playing unbelievable football. And so from an offensive side, you're just struggling mentally because you're like, man, I want to hang 17 or 18 and get up by 2 or 3 scores on this team and just let this defense pin their ears back and go because we know they can get there, but from the defensive side, you have to take this approach that you can't get frustrated with the offense, because I think that's the hardest thing. When you're playing really good defense, right, you feel it as much as the offense does. If you're just like, come on, guys, just give us a 10-point or a 14-point lead here, and we'll go put the knife right into these dudes. But when that doesn't happen, it can really frustrate a defense as a whole, where they start being like, okay, here we go again, got to go back out there, can't let them score. But from what I've seen and from listening to you on the call and listening to some of the guys around the program, this defense wears it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Right? They wear it as like they know that they are the front runner of this football team. They know they are the leading side of this football team, and they wear it as a badge of honor of like, sweet, if we have to make them only score 9, then that's what we're going to do. But yes, our goal is to make them score 0. And that's every defense's goal, obviously, but they know that if they don't hold a team down, we aren't going to win. And I love that they've stepped up to that challenge, and they've stepped up to the bar and said, here's the bar. Offense, we got your back. We're going to shut them down. Just give us – I don't care if you score 11 and they score 10. Just score 1 more point than they do, and we got this. And I love that complementary football that's going back and forth with them right now, and the way that Tony White has this defense playing. He's going to be sad. I hate even saying it, but I feel like he's going to be a head coach candidate for a lot of teams coming up next year.
Yeah, he's so how he handles himself in every aspect of this coaching business. That to me is it's not only about what you're doing as a coordinator, but also how you handle yourself outside of it. That's what's scary about it and sad about it is he's definitely probably going to get an opportunity at some point. But that's kind of part of the business, though, right? And you want to have a defense that's playing this well, that you have coaches that you might lose, I guess, at some point. But I really wanted to dive into Terrence Knighton and the job he's done with the defensive line. I've said it over and over again. It's my favorite huddle to listen into, to watch. They are loose. They're having fun. And it's, we had talked a lot about that maybe being a concern. Like, are they going to have enough depth and bodies there? But we're continuing to see every week new guys run out there as a part of the rotation. James Williams, a former walk-on, gets a sack last week. And Riley Van Poppel has been a big part. And it's just every week it seems like they grow in depth and they keep having guys run out there, make plays, and they are they're flying around, they're playing with so much confidence, and they are loose. And to see just how they interact with Terrence Knighton on the sideline, it's been fun to watch. But when you talk about development of guys on the defensive line, on the front especially, what do you think's gone into that he's been able to continue to bring guys along throughout a season as well?
Yeah, I think back to our podcast in August, and we were like the 2 position groups that were most question marks about, right? And it was the defensive line and the wide receivers. Well, one has been warranted. Still a lot of question marks on the wide receivers. But you talk about this defensive line, and you knew you had a couple guys in there with Nash and Ty, right? That's kind of where you're like, okay, the building blocks start there. But after that was just a ton of question marks. And time again, you're seeing players come in, right? I think about the second game of the year, Cam Lenhart, right? Freshman. How is he going to do? A couple sacks against Colorado. Oh, fantastic. Elijah Judy comes in there. Oh, what's he going to do? Disruptive, right? Okay, Van Poppel. Fantastic. He's getting meaningful snaps, giving Nash a break. We need to let that guy get a break. And then you just say time and time again, I was expecting this drop-off from Nash and Ty to this other group just because they were young and unproven. But there is no drop-off. They are playing at such a great level, and that is hats off to Terrence Knighton with not just getting these guys physically prepared, but with this defense that's Tony White, which is just chaos and slants and movement and everything, but you still have to be very assignment sound. he has them so mentally locked into the game plan that they're able to play fast and free. And we're seeing some of their natural athletic ability be able to come out there and take over games with beating guys and being stronger and faster. And it's just been such a bright spot to see, because we need it, right? This is a league in the Big Ten that if you don't have D linemen that can disrupt and hold up on those double teams and let linebackers through, there's going to be running lanes all over the place. We see it week in and week out. And it's just been so fun to watch and really encouraging for the future. You know, that's one thing that I've been watching this year going, okay, first year in Rhule system, what are some things that I'm looking at that 2-3 years down the road, I'm going to go, man, I remember back to that 2023 season when that kid was a freshman, and now looking at him out here getting preseason all Big Ten or being an all Big Ten player, maybe an all-American player. Those type of things are what this future of this defensive line room can look like. And that goes a lot of credit to Terrence Knighton and this defensive staff for just how they prepare guys, how they develop guys, and how they just want to get guys in there that can help us win football games.
All right, let's talk Purdue. Purdue's been a team that's been hard to figure out, obviously, with your picks. You picked them, you haven't picked them, they've won, they haven't won, and new coaching staff and all of that. They've had some big wins. They beat Illinois pretty handily, then they kept it close with Iowa, then got really beat really badly, 41-7, their last time out against Ohio State, which, by the way, they're also coming off a bye. But at this point, how much is it, hey, Nebraska, we're going to do what we do and try to be better at what we do than even talking about what Purdue does?
Yeah, we're not at a point where we can start saying we got to figure out a way to beat Purdue. No, we just have to figure out a way to be ourselves, right? And we've proven it now 4 out of the last 5 games. If we can take care of ourselves, the rest will come. And so it's not as much this week about what Purdue does. And, they've had 2 weeks to study the bye, just like Northwestern had 2 weeks to study Nebraska. So they're going to think that they have a beat on this defense and what they can do to attack it. And they might, right? They might be able to initially be able to weather the storm. But I do think with what Nebraska's been doing offensively, we need to control the clock, keep the ball out of their offense's hands, and then create turnovers again on defense to give ourselves short field. Purdue's a good football team, maybe. I don't know, probably. It's hard to say. They're so up and down. They're kind of like us. They're just kind of on a roller coaster this year a little bit. But, historically, they've come in here and been able to kind of throw the ball over the yard the last few years. That's been kind of their MO. So I'll be curious to see the short passing game that Purdue wants to come out with when they come here next week. But, I'm really excited to see what Tony White has dialed up for this offense.
When you start in a football locker room, especially this team in particular, start finding some success, and again, maybe it's not always playing your absolute best football, but when you start finding some success and you've won back-to-back games, how does that start to change the feeling of a locker room?
It's momentum. Mm-hmm. It changes everything because it's momentum, and now you're not going back to the drawing board every single week going, well, we lost again, what do we have to change, right? It's like, no, we won again. So what we did worked. Now what can we do to give it even better? Right. And that's such a better place to make corrections from. It's such a better place to go out to practice every week. And I'm sure you can feel it just being around the building. Yeah. Everyone's just generally happier when you're winning football games, right? Losing football games is miserable. And you feel it from the janitorial staff to the head coach, right? And everyone in between. It's just not a fun environment to be around when you're losing constantly. When you start winning football games, people are excited. Right? People are excited. You're around the building. There's enthusiasm. There's momentum. There's excitement. And that carries over into everything from practice to the film room to meeting rooms to the game. Right? And so there's just this overall feeling of excitement of walking into a game going, we're going to win, instead of, man, I don't know if we're going to win, but we're going to try really hard. Right? There's a belief factor that comes into this. And seeing Coach Rhule in the football locker room after that win, you're seeing the belief start to get into this football team that they know with the group of guys that they have for the 2023 season, they can go win football games.
And that was a portion of the Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza, the official pizza of the Huskers. You can listen to the full episode out now with Searles. We can't get it all in. It'd be like a full hour show by the time we cut it up with breaks. But yeah, we went 30 minutes today, of course, diving into all things Husker football, and Searles has the best perspective, I think. So, yeah, you can listen to that now out wherever you listen or on our YouTube channel.
And when does the next dig come out?
Okay, so yeah, we had to do a little switcheroo this week. So Searles had something come up, so we taped him this morning, and we're going to tape the dig tomorrow. So the dig, Jordan Larson, wow, she's back again. So we'll record with her tomorrow morning, and I will get that out ASAP. So that is when the next episode.
We learned on the volleyball show last week she's now practicing some with the team.
Yeah,
how about that?
That's good practice, good look for these players to be able to go up against one of the best.
All right, very good. All right, text line's open for you, 402-413-2400. If you want to be a part of the program, that is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. Woodhouse, your auto, trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. The Vikings have taken the lead on the Niners in the Monday night football game, 7-0. The Astros have fallen behind. Texas scored 3 in the first. Houston got 1 in the bottom of the first, so 3-1 Rangers. In a Game 7, winner-take-all earlier, the Diamondbacks beat back the Phillies, so they'll have a Game 7 tomorrow night. Love that. I love playoff sports with elimination games. We're getting 2 of them in the American and National League Championship Series. We're back to talk more sports next.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall. 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraskachiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Natal Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Natal Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Natal Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
If problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment. Just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Busy weekend. Jessica alluded to it earlier in the show. You've got volleyballs home Friday and Saturday, Maryland Friday, Rutgers Saturday, and they've moved the Rutgers game back a half an hour. Your ticket's going to say 7. It's 7:30 now, just to give a little more time between football, which is 2:30 that day, and volleyball, get some traffic cleared out of here. And then both basketball teams will take the court for exhibition games on Sunday. The women will play at noon, and the men will play at 5, and you're on the call for the men's game on BTN+.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Who are you working with?
Andy Markowski this week. We are going to have Eric Strickland back again, but there's a couple that he couldn't make, so we will have Andy Markowski on, so he'll be on the first one. I'm going to go out to practice this week. I'm excited. I'm ready for hoop season. I love November. Both
the men and women had those secret scrimmages over the weekend. The men hosted Utah on Saturday. The women took on Omaha on Sunday. So you learn so much from those. You get to work on some situational things. And then you get to just kind of size yourself up. Where are you at this point in time? I think both Coach Williams and Coach Hoiberg would say, we're going to get a lot more out of that than we are out of the exhibition game on Sunday. The difference is you're going to have fans in the stands Sunday where you didn't have anybody in the gym the other day.
Yeah, and it's always, a good tune-up and a good opportunity just to go through, with those scrimmages. It's still not exactly like a game day, True. Right? And so we hear a lot of times how the football team goes through basically like a quote-unquote dress rehearsal. This is a good opportunity to do that. What's a game day going to look like for the team? Get everybody acclimated to what that routine looks like, and then just play against somebody that's not yourself, and build some confidence and get some things going before the season hits. But yeah, I am excited. I can't wait to see what both these teams look like. There's some new pieces with the women's team that I can't wait to see how they gel with the returners. And then, boy, it's almost like a completely new men's team, even though there are a lot of a lot of returning players that we know. But just to see how they build that all together, I can't wait to see how that comes together.
The men played Doane. The women played Dakota Wesleyan. The women's broadcast this year on the network, we're going to expand the pregame show to a half an hour. So they'll come on the air. Matt and Jeff will come on the air at 11:30 on Sunday. Still an hour pregame for Kent and Jake. So hoop season almost here. The exhibition games on Sunday. So full weekend of things going on here. Yeah, you know, on the men's side, obviously Casey's back. Jamarcus Lawrence, who I was a huge fan of a year ago, is back. C.J. Welcher kind of gets forgotten a little bit when you start running down the men's team, but he has shown the ability to have big games.
All he did was average 8 points, like 5 rebounds. You know, he's working on my charts the other day. Maybe not quite 5 rebounds, but you know, and you also forget too, the year before, he was one of the Big Ten's leading three-point shooters. In fact, I think he led the league in three-point shooting percentage, but he was better than Casey from the three-point. He led all Huskers in three-point shooting, so he has the ability to shoot from the outside. And so that's where if teams start trying to really key in on Casey, well, you cannot leave CJ open. CJ won the three-point contest the other day out there at opening night, so he can shoot it. He's proven that he can shoot it.
And he looks good.
Yes.
I mean, he physically looks.
And I think he's grown on the defensive end, and so, yeah, he's absolutely going to be a big key piece to this. You're going to see a lot of different lineups. That's also going to be intriguing to me to see how they put together different lineups to go against different teams, different matchups, because they're going to be able to throw a lot of different looks at people.
Going to be fun. It's going to be here before you know it. They both tip off the season, the regular season, on Monday, the 6th of November. The women will play at noon. The men will play at 7 o'clock that night. So both have home games to start the season. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to fire off a text. We also have time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back with our weekend winners coming up next.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hutmacher. Learn more at therightseed.com.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Both farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every year, every season presents a new opportunity. That is nothing new. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, embrace new opportunities. They focus on their roots and continue to stand strong with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperatives relies on their value of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. When you choose Aurora Cooperative, you're choosing a winning team that's dedicated to the success of our local farmers. Go Big Red and go Aurora Cooperative.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Flag Insider Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. See the weather forecast for the weekend?
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it yet, Greg. I'm not ready.
Right. Trivia question. I asked Cole and Henry this earlier today. This is going to make you feel better. And this shocked me. How many days do you think Lincoln, Nebraska, 365 calendar year, is it 80 or above? 80 degrees or higher.
200?
Wow. You went high. Henry was really close. Henry, your guess, what was your guess again?
My guess was 130.
It's 144.
Wow.
So almost 50% of the days in Lincoln, Nebraska, we hit a high of 80 or more.
Well,
How about that?
Can't complain about
Makes
that.
you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other ones we get some low ones.
We also get some real high ones, too.
We do, and more than people think
around
here. There were a couple days, I think I was gone at Big Ten Media Days, when there were a couple days here that were just suffocating.
Yeah, it was.
Heat index like 119 or something.
And it can get pretty humid here, which is the difference
Yeah.
what I had to get used to, because in Oklahoma it's pretty dry.
Right.
But here it can get pretty humid.
Yeah, it does. All right, time for this weekend's winners. Let's start with the guys. And Henry Cole departed the scene, so you've got his and yours. Why don't you start with your winner of the weekend?
My weekend winner is the Husker women's soccer team.
Nice. Co-champions of the Big Ten Conference.
Love it. And they closed out the season. I mean, they started really hot, but then the way they finished.
6 straight.
Yeah. They we thought it was all but Penn State's, and they were battling for second, but
Penn State
kudos.
finished fourth. One loss in the league, and they finished fourth.
That's
how tight it was.
They're a top 5 team. So, yeah,
So the
the way that
Huskers-
they finished strong
They did.
at the end makes you feel good about where they're still trending upwards
are.
going into the postseason, which is what you want.
They'll be the 2 seed in the tournament, Big Ten tournament. Starts Sunday. They'll be at home. Not sure if it's at noon or 1. We'll find out a solid start time tomorrow. They'll play the Buckeyes, who aren't bad. That's going to be a pretty good match. Then if you win that, you go to Columbus, Ohio. The Columbus Crew, the MLS team, they're going to play the semis and the finals at that stadium. It's a nice facility. Good one, Henry. All right, how about Coleman? What did he have?
Cole had Malachi Coleman.
That's a good one, too, yeah.
You talked to him after the game,
Yeah,
too.
it was. He was great after the game. But I told this story on the broadcast, but it was really cool. After he scored the touchdown, just seeing how everybody was so happy for him. But then he went immediately to the offensive line and shook all those guys' hands and said, hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for giving me time to get open. And then you guys talked about it. It took a while for that play to develop, and the offensive line had to give him some time to get open. And so he went over there and thanked everybody on the offensive line. So I thought that was cool. And so really cool to see the hometown kid get his first touchdown. That was awesome.
It was a Tom Osborne play, Belly G. It was called the Belly G pass play. All right, your winner.
I am going to go, overall, Nebraska volleyball and their big win over Wisconsin. But more specifically, there were a lot of folks that worked all day at football. And typically they get a little bit more time, but there was a lot of people that had to hustle over there. I talked to a few people that were working security that had only had a hot dog that day. And so the dedication to a lot of those folks, it wouldn't be possible to do that doubleheader. And so for them to hustle over from football to get over to volleyball and make it all happen. So those are my weekend winners, and behind the scenes, and don't get enough credit probably for making it all happen.
And as we mentioned, the volleyball match was longer than the football game. It was 3 hours and 5 minutes. A long, long day.
And they're
for
so
those
nice
people.
and pleasant. I love all those people.
They do great work. My weekend winner, I'm going with the sack man. James Williams. That's what they call him, the sack man. He got one. Former Scout Squad player, Iowa Western transfer, walk on to the Husker program. What a cool story. I'll be honest, folks, he wasn't on my chart. I had to look over to pull the program out and see who number 90 was running out there. That was a cool thing. I bet we see him some more before the year is over. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying in your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. The head football coach, Matt Rhule, here tomorrow night for our football show. Look forward to that in hour 1. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just